Well, well, well. What's good, everybody? Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith. Good to see everybody tonight, July 10th, 2025. Man, was today a good day? Wasn't it nice, everybody? Wasn't it nice for us to finally have one good day? How about 2 in a row? That was pretty nice, wasn't it? Feeling pretty good about yourself with 2 in a row, right? How much farther can things go? Well, that's what we do here. That's what we talk about. Crypto After Dark. Charts, data, no subjectivity, objectivity only. Let's get into it. Shout out to everyone. Welcome to Crypto After Dark, everybody. Please go hit the like button. It costs absolutely nothing to hit the like button. While you're there, share it around social media. If you repost over on X, I'm happy to shout you out. If you like the video over on YouTube, will help get the algorithm out to more people so they can see more stuff. Shout out to everyone watching on Rumble as well, your alternative viewing platform. I appreciate everybody being on Rumble. I'm allowed to say and do whatever I want on Rumble, which I love. Now, we still do YouTube. We still do X. I limit what I put on YouTube, obviously. We put way more stuff over on Rumble. We put way more stuff over on X. Those are way more free speech platforms, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that. If you've never tuned into us before, if you've never seen what we do or how we do it, shout out to Colo Boy for retweeting real quick. I'll write that down. If you've never been here, never seen what we do all data, all charts, all the time. No wondering, no hoping, no wishing, no praying. We like to stick to what we know. We like to stick to the numbers and avoid all the noise. It's a really cool thing I've learned over the past couple months about, I forget which person sent it to me. So y'all guys don't understand this, but, oh, by the way, we don't have any jazz. Now we got some jazz going. You guys may not understand this, but I don't read that great, but I'll read what interests me. It's just that I can read pretty well. It's just that if it doesn't interest me, I don't care to read it and I don't get interested in it, right? Well, I had someone send me something pretty cool a few months ago, and I didn't start reading it until, I don't know, a week ago. I've just dabbled around reading it. I really haven't dug super deep into it, but some pretty cool stuff about signal and noise, right? How do you separate the two? How do you keep the two separate? How do you differentiate between what's signal and what noise? We do mostly signal here, which is data. All the noise is, oh, the team, oh, the project, oh, look at all the partnerships, oh, look at how much is happening, look at what this news, a lot of noise. We stick to the data, we stick to the signal. That's what's important to us. That's how we've made most of our ends, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. Great stuff lined up here. I got a bunch of charts to look at. Breakouts happening all over the place. First things first, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Bitcoin. Wow. It took a little while, didn't it? It took a little while. I'm glad to see things finally shift back in the right direction. Man, folks, y'all might not understand it over here because I sit in here and I make it look easy or whatever. Not really, right?
Wrong.
It's not really that easy. I don't really make it look that good. Point is, it's super stressful over here, y'all. Y'all can see the gray coming out, right? Turning super gray these days. And some of the clips that I make on the thumbnails, those are usually old pictures, right? Because I don't like taking pictures of myself. I don't even like looking up at the camera and seeing myself in the camera. It freaks me out, to be honest with you. Anyway, it's easy to sit up here and talk a big game. If anyone's never done this before, it's really difficult to fill an hour worth of time talking. You think you just get on here and talk and it's easy to understand. It's not. It's one thing to get on here and talk. It's another thing to help people understand what's going on. Elephant in the room, Bitcoin. So I've got some things drawn out for you. The HH, the LH, what does all this mean, right? Everything you should know, because a lot of new people are coming into crypto right now. A lot of new people are coming along and seeing and learning. And you don't know what's going on exactly. And you're not going to understand a lot about what you see today, but I want you to stick with me and hear me out, okay? Because all this stuff is numbers based. You just don't know about it because no one's ever told you about it. And because the people that are going to tell you about it soon don't know what we're talking about, they're going to get left behind. I explained to a couple people tonight at a function that, you know, you're going to hear a lot and you're going to do a lot. You're going to hear me say something and not necessarily listen the first time. You're going to follow A, B, C, and D, and you're going to fail. I'm explaining a trend, all right? Currently, we're in a big monster uptrend, which I'll show you in a moment, but I want to focus first on the daily charts here, okay? For an uptrend, we need two things. We need a higher high and a higher low, and that's based on where the price closes every single day, all right? We can see where the price closes and opens based on the chart that you see in front of you. Green candles mean the chart closed higher. Red candles mean the chart closed lower. Overall, did it close higher or lower after multiple days? That's where the trend really comes in. The HH is a higher high, meaning up and up and up. The HL is a higher low, meaning down, but still not terrible. LH means a lower high. Well, that's not as good as the last one, is it? Already running in the negative there. And the LL means a lower low. For an uptrend, you need HH and HL. That's higher high and higher low. We made quite a few of them in here on the way up. I'll zoom out a little bit for you here. You had a big in white right there, overall higher high, higher low, higher high. And in between, you had lots of smaller downtrends that were quite frustrating, right? In fact, over the last several weeks, we had the same thing happen, right? Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low, higher high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And you can indicate this by drawing a trend line, which kind of shows you on plain form where and where not things will shift. Sure enough, we got a lower high on the other side of this trend line, but that only acted for a little while. You can see it was barely lower than the last one, and I mean barely lower than the last one. But since then, we created that higher low. There was our low, there's our higher low, and now we've got a big higher high, big time breakout. If I scroll out a bit here, you'll see that even farther out, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and still going. How much farther will it go? Well, we can also use the chart to tell us that. It should be noted that nothing goes straight up in the air, all right? Prepare for things to be red at some point. Now, right now, you're not going to get a bunch of red in here because everything's moving together, and you're starting to see Bitcoin really prop up the market, but Bitcoin dominance is falling off, and I'll explain that in a minute before we go through the request, right? It's important to know that things change very rapidly, and I want you to stay on top of this. This is why we do 2 live streams per week, so that everyone sees everything twice a week, and there's no excuse to say, oh, I missed it. No, we do these live streams for everyone to see, right? I could just do all this stuff privately, and no one would ever see it, no one would benefit from it. So how do we know where things are going to go and how much farther could things go? Well, let's scroll out a bit here first and let's look at the big time frames. And what do I mean by big time frame? Well, bigger time frames would be higher, like weekly, monthly, 3-month, which would be quarterly or even yearly charts. Now I'm going to scroll out to the weekly first. Let's go all the way back to the end of the last bull run, which was at the end of 2021 in November for Bitcoin. It was different for every chart, but in general, crypto really took a punch in the face in November, and most of them never recovered any farther than that, November 21. So I'll start there and I'll pull this Fibonacci retracement, which is mathematical points up and down to help us see where the chart will start, stop, dance around a little bit, etc. They help us see the map. That's the easier way to say it. They help us see the map and see which direction we're going in. I'm going to start there and I'm going to pull down to the bottom down here, all the way at the very bottom of where the big bear market that we had during 2022 happened with all the SBF stuff, Caroline Ellison stuff, FTX stuff, etc. That's the bottom of that. Now I'm going to drag this to the right because we have 4-year cycles in Bitcoin. If you didn't know that, you know now. I'm going to drag this to the right. And as I drag this to the right, you'll start to see that up top, we have levels that are being reached or already have been reached. And I'm going to pull this till about the end of the year this year. Why is that? Well, that's about where it ended the last 4-year cycle, and about where it ended the last 4-year cycle before that, and about where it ended the last 4-year cycle before that. It's repetitive. It's mathematical. All right. So I want you to see some levels here. We tested previous all-time high, which was that back here in November, right? November 21. We tested that, didn't break it, but we stayed above the 786, 886 level, which was key. Staying above our company name, 786 Assassins, staying above that was crucial. It had to stay up there. Staying up there means it held support. How does that sound to you? Sound good? Well, correct, it is good. Held support, held over top of Sniper's Alley, and broke out. Once it broke out above all-time high, we were already knowing things were popping off and moving. Where they moved to first? They moved to the first take profit fib that we have. And by take profit fib, I mean a chance for you to remove some money out of the market and perhaps put it somewhere else, or leave it in if you want, take a chance. It did hit that level perfectly and faded back all the way near previous all-time high where it broke out, bounced back. Now it's through that same 1272 level and it's on its way to the, you got it, next take profit fib level, which is roughly 128,000 Don't quote me exactly on the number. 125 to 135 is a much better thing to say, because $10,000 at this point is only going to be a few percent, where before it was a mega deal, right? As the numbers get higher here, it's harder to multiply with money-wise. It's harder to multiply your gains. So the numbers are going to get astronomical here soon, and they're really going to start to make your head spin. Please keep a safe head here. Stay on point. Don't get off topic with yourself. Don't let yourself wander out in the woods about what might be. Let's stick to what is and what we can see, all right? It's very important, because things are about to get really crazy in the crypto world. This is only the beginning. I know you've heard me say that before, and we did have some moves before that were pretty beneficial. I did get some profits. I did manage to double my portfolio before this bottom come in here, and I really, really hope it works out for all of us. So the next take profit fib, 128, I'm going to call that 130, because that's the next round number near 128. Does that make sense? 110, 120, 130. All right, it's a nice psychological level. That level is my next key level for price action to get to. And as you see, we're not there yet. We're only at 116.5. We got room to go here. If that happens, that's likely to drag the rest of the market along with it. All right, great. What about after that? Well, I think we're probably going to slow down a little bit when we get to this level, and I'll explain why in a moment. Above that, the last and final, what I think will be take profit level here at 175,000. It's possible that we go past this, but I'm going to show you in a moment why I'm not positive about that. Okay, these levels are more realistic, and I want to stick to realistic levels and not get off into the hopium world of we're going to $1 million. Yeah, maybe in 20 years. You know, you can sit here and wish and hope, but we got real raw data in front of us. Let's stick to that real raw data for now. You know what I mean? I like the fact that it got over 1272 and held on. I like the fact that it's running to the 1414. Great stuff. Of note, we are not quite overbought yet on the RSI. What does that mean? Well, the RSI shows up the Relative Strength Index, RSI, Relative Strength Index. Once it gets up above the dashed line out of here, out of this colored zone, that's overbought. When you're overbought, that means you likely need to sell. You got it. Just like if a warehouse overbought dog food, they need to put it on sale and get rid of it. You got too many VCRs. What do? You put them on sale and forget about them. You guys don't even know what VCRs are. Of note, we got some bearish divergence right here still. That's not broken out. It very well could. I'm hoping that we see this RSI on the weekly break out. It still has it. It's still working toward overbought. And this is why I think we're going to get a slowdown at around 130-ish. All right, that makes sense. Mathematically, it makes sense. MACD is still turned up and doing very well on the weekly. You see the previous levels, how high it got. It can do it again. I like the volume that's coming in. That's a good thing. This level needs to hold, obviously, for tomorrow. And what I'm hoping is we have nice chill weekends, not big green weekends, because that creates CME gaps, which are a whole nother problem. All right, great. So that's the weekly look, the zoomed out look. If I go down to daily, it's a little different. All right, I can see a little smaller and a little sharper time frames here and get a little bit better feel for what might happen. Here is our last high here. That was January, beginning of the year. Remember that? We came way down from then, didn't we? Came all the way down here to $74,000. Brutal. Great. Now let's grab that top, grab that bottom, and slide this fib over until we get out to a level we can see. And I'll pull it out here where you can see it real well. This trend line doesn't line up, and I could draw a new trend line for you. Like if I draw it like this, you'll see that stops there. I get it, right? Great. We went up to the one fib and faded back. I'm going to drag this to the right just so we can see it better for the viewers, so you get a better picture of what's going on. I know X doesn't give us super high quality resolution like YouTube does. That's why I'm still using YouTube. And Rumble gives us pretty good high quality, but Rumble is an alternative viewing platform still at this point. So what I've pulled now is a more local Fibonacci retracement, which shows us more local levels. All right, bounce Sniper's Alley through the take profit, through the previous all-time high, which happened just yesterday in the day, right? Big breakout, running up to the 1272 short term. You saw on the weekly we'd already hit this level. That's down here. Now you see we've gone up to the 1272 on the daily chart, which are starting to line up. And I want you to notice what's more important here. Look at how well this 1414 fib I just pulled lines up with the weekly 1414 fib. That's what we call confluence, or more than one point of data at the same spot. There's confluence for that area, 128 to 130. Does that make sense? That's why I said 125 to 135. And the box that I drew kind of represents that. It could go farther than that. As you see, the take profit fib up top, the 1.618, that's at 138-ish, 140-ish, right? It could go farther than just this take profit fib here. It could come up, get all the way up here, and then slowly fade back. I'm okay with that too, obviously. What I'm trying to get at here is this move is not the final move. This move is the next move. This move gets us to the final move, which I think happens more toward the end of the year. So far, we're plugging along pretty aggressively here, and I don't think the aggression can keep up that long without some sell pressure coming in. And sell pressure means you got it down, right? Don't get discouraged if you see some red. At this point, when we see red, now we're getting buying opportunities. Great. So I kind of explained to you where the price is going for now. I think 120 to 140 is a fair spot for things to stop. I'm more conflued around 125 to 135. And if you really want to be super technical, 128 to 130. I think that makes more sense. That green box that you see right there, okay? I hope I explained that well enough. Y'all let me know if I didn't explain that well enough. I'll go through it a little bit more. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Did I explain that well enough, or did I not explain that well enough? Let me say hey to everybody real quick. Shout out Win Mullet. Haven't seen you, heard from you in a long time, brother. Good to see you still around. Win Mullet is part of the reason that we do this. Had I not had people like Win Mullet around, this everything we do wouldn't have existed. Be around like-minded people who can make you better. That's what I say all the time. Be around like-minded people who can make you better. That's why we have a Discord. That's why we have a group, wap.com/team786. First month is free, then it's half off. You literally have a chance to be around the same people that helped me build all this and help me learn and help teach me how to be better at this. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Shout out Ron Poteet. Good to see you, brother. He says, always lurking. Good to keep up the good work. Well, thank you, sir. Covey, good to see you, brother. Watching from Columbus. When's Bitcoin dominance going to give the readings to Ethereum? Good question. About to go over that. Panda, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Cody Kinsel. What's up, Busted? Matt Wallace. If you haven't already, check out our AI we have on our Discord as well. Damn right. We got an AI bot that will actually analyze for you. It's pretty awesome. Part of our Discord. Crew Chief, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. He says, what about Blockbuster? I know, right? Cycling Cotton, what's good, Josh? Good to see you, brother. Squad, good to see you, my guy. I'm starting to feel like an OG around here, but I was part of the second wave. But you are an OG. See how that works? Ronan says, translation, direct all complaints to Win Mullet. That's pretty good. Damn. I like it. Shout out to X people watching over there on X. Spock Ramsey, good to see you, brother. Said BTC's looking good. Damn right it is. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you. Crypto Trauma. Brent, what's up, G? Good to see you. Colo Boy gave us a repost. Shout out to him. Shout out to Sir Sigma. Also, shout out to Ox Butts for the retweet. Raclette Cheese, one of our moderators in our Discord, for the retweet. Crypto Joe for the retweet. Crypto Jazzy D, good to see you, brother. Thank you for the retweet. And Colo Boy, as I already said, thank you. I shout out everyone who helps us out on here, right? That's the way it works. So let's look at some other stuff. Really cool data here. Here's 2016. I'm going to drop the camera off for a moment. There you go. Drop the camera off. 2016, currently, and 2020. So I got the two previous runs that happened most recently and the current move on the chart in front of you to show you exactly how equal they are. Note, same time 8 years ago, same time 4 years ago. Now they're damn near identical. Now, this isn't going to work for every chart, okay? Please don't go comparing XRP charts to ADA charts to link charts and saying, see, this move's going to happen. That's not the way it works. This is Bitcoin for Bitcoin for Bitcoin. One of the only mathematical charts that cannot be manipulated and cannot be changed. There's only so much Bitcoin, and you have to mine it to earn it or buy it. You don't have a choice, okay? This is why we can chart this so well. This is why this works so well, because it's data only, no feelings, right? As you see, same thing over here. This is what I was talking about earlier. I would show you. This is the previous 1272, 1414, and 1618 lines. They're just in the background, hidden right there. I can slide them over a little bit so you can see them. There you go. I have it scaled identically for each run. As you see, these lines are all the same going across here, right? They're all identical lines. Down here is identical. Sniper's Alley down here, identical. So what I want you to note here is we haven't hit these levels yet. Even in 2020 back here, we hit these levels. We actually hit these levels twice, right? Now I'm going to scroll out to the monthly. This is 2012, 2016, 2020, and 2024, all side by side. As you see, I got Fibonacci retracement and halving lines and parabolas drawn on all these. Folks, they are not identical, but they are all echoes of each other. Note, yes, we did have falling volume little by little. I understand that. The first two runs, 2012 and 2016, you'll see that they had big blow off tops. They got through the 1-2-1-2, 1-4-1-4, and 1-6-1-8. The same thing in 2016. It got through those, got all the way to the blow off top fibs up there. 2020 got stuck in these fibs. As you see, no blow off top for 2020. Difference now is we're already up here in the take profit fibs again. I'm hoping that we sail through these take profit fibs and come up here to the crazy emoji levels that I have up here, but you'll see the lock that I have right there. I think that 1-6-1-8 level all the way up there at 175K is a lock. That would be the only time that at that level never got hit. Now, obviously 2020 was the first time we never had a blow off top. Fair enough. Blame whatever reason you want to put in there. I don't really care about the reasons. Point is, we didn't have a blow off top last time. I'm not expecting a blow off top this time. Would be magnificent if it happened. Don't get me wrong, but I always like to lean on the side of cautious optimism and not over the top optimism. Fair enough? Fair enough. All right, cool. So there's your cycle. Now let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Here's weekly Bitcoin dominance, halving, midway, end of cycle. Halving, midway, end of cycle. And as you see, it just hasn't failed yet. This had already failed and fallen off very aggressively back in 2020. Bitcoin dominance just continues to run. Let's go look at daily Bitcoin dominance. Why? Because this is crucial for alt season. Finally, Bitcoin slowed down a little bit. Bitcoin dominance slowed down a little bit, not the price of Bitcoin. This is where it gets confusing. I'm going to break this down for you, all right? Bitcoin dominance is falling off. What does that mean? That means Bitcoin's grip over the market is slowly relinquishing, all right? It doesn't mean the price of Bitcoin's going down. It just means its grip over the market share that it's got is slowly bleeding off a little bit, right? As signed by the chart right here, you got a failed trend line, a failed 821 EMA, and a failed 50-day moving average, all back to back to back. Very aggressively, I might add. Now, the last time this happened, look what happened. It bounced right back up and took off again. Fully possible for it to do so again, all right? Fully possible for it to keep on going. Let's be careful. It obviously could bounce and go right back up some more and take even more dominance and keep going. Right now, it's 64% of the market share for all of crypto, just Bitcoin. Interestingly enough, here's the other side of that coin. Here's others, everything outside the top 10. And we could go even farther with that and start putting top 10 coins in there too. I'll show you that one in a moment. This is the first time we've broken trend and tested the 50 moving average in quite a while, all right? Even on the weekly, it's the first time the weekly has had a little breakout in a long time. Obviously, it's way down. You're still under the weekly 821 EMA. You're way down on others coins. So be careful here. I know it seems like you've got a lot of movement and some charts might be bottomed out, but we're not in full-blown alt season just yet. We may have just started it. And we may have it for another 6 months. And I'll explain why now, all right? Bitcoin dominance, 65% of the market share. It's important to note that Bitcoin dominance is fine when it goes up and everything goes up with it. But you're not going to get an altcoin season, unless money comes from Bitcoin and goes into altcoins. I want you to think about if you were an average everyday investor, right? You don't know anything about crypto. Someone comes up to you and says, hey man, are you in crypto? The first word that most people say is, you mean Bitcoin or whatever? They don't immediately say, oh man, you're talking about XRP or you're talking about Chainlink or whatever. They don't say that. They go right to Bitcoin, right? If you're going to get in for the first time, you're likely going to buy Bitcoin. I understand. Fine. So as Bitcoin dominance drops, why isn't the price of Bitcoin going down with it? Well, that's the exact reason, because the new people who come into the market only buy the well-known ones first, like Bitcoin, right? You're going to buy the well-known ones first, so that causes the price to go up. The thing is, smarter money who have been in this for a while, like us or other people, they know, hey man, I can make way more money in altcoins. I've already made a good nut on Bitcoin. It could keep going up. Sure, I'm going to make what, 20, 30%? If I move this money over to Chainlink or XRP, I can make 100 or 200%. So I'm going to take part of my Bitcoin position. I'm going to sell that off into something else. I'll pick the coin that I want to buy. Doesn't matter. Once that happens, those altcoins start to get market share and their dominance starts to go up. So you have Bitcoin price going up, Bitcoin dominance going down. At the same time, money from Bitcoin, older money, goes into crypto other than Bitcoin, lets those altcoins come up, and that alt dominance starts to go up. All ships rise with the tide, but Bitcoin dominance comes down and altcoins get a move up. This is crucial to happen. Now, once we start seeing these altcoins move up and the rest of the world takes notice, then you're going to see altcoins pop off and really start to go. When even the new money starts to realize, I could take profits on this Bitcoin and buy something else. That's right about the time it'll be time to stop as well, right? We'll be monitoring this the whole way. Please keep your eyes open on this. Please hear me out. I'm not making this stuff up. This is data, okay? We've already figured this out over years of trying. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but please, please be informed on this, because if you're not, you're going to get left behind and lose what you made. All right? Cool. I hope that was a good explanation, everybody. Everybody get that? I recorded it too, and I'll post it again so everybody can see it. Here's total market cap 1, 2, and 3. Interestingly enough, I got red arrows drawn at the levels of the Sniper's Alley level, so you can see which ones are which, right? Total market cap on the left is all cryptos put together, okay? As you see, we bounced Sniper's Alley, we got over the previous all-time high, and you got a breakout right here. That candle's clearly pushing out over that trend line. Excellent. Here's total crypto 2. What does that mean? Well, that's everything except Bitcoin. So Ethereum, XRP, Chainlink, ADA, Cardano, all of them put in one bottle right here, Binance Coin. As you see, not over all-time high yet, not over Sniper's Alley yet, but a breakout. So this tells you Bitcoin's out in front. Everything else is catching up. Total 3 on the right is everything minus Bitcoin and minus Ethereum, all the other coins. Interestingly enough, they are still out in front of Ethereum. Ethereum is starting to push into Sniper's Alley right here. Total 3, everything else is already in the middle of Sniper's Alley on its breakout. It looks like so far that other coins are still outperforming Ethereum. When Ethereum gets its big push, that's when everything starts to change for us, and we change everything in the market when Ethereum passes up everything else, because everything altcoin wise loves seeing Ethereum go up. It's just something we've noticed over the years. All right, don't expect it to go flying up or whatever, but please note that it's fully possible once Ethereum starts taking control. If it takes control, altcoins are really pop. Now you still got obvious ones like the Solana network. You got other ones like Binance Chain, AVAX, all the layer ones where a lot of coins can be produced very rapidly on. They very well may pop off and do very well. I certainly hope so. I actually bought some layer 1 coins recently because of that very same thought. Hey man, people are gonna start buying stuff. It's a little bit more gain worthy to buy the shitters. I don't know if I want to do that, but for a layer 1, you're a little bit more safety net. I thought, hey man, let me play it a little bit safer, still make my money, not get super greedy. It's gonna be very difficult to control your greed. All right, it's gonna be very difficult. Don't get silly. What's up, Bill Childers? Good to see you, Dab. Dab said, look, Win Mullet was the guy that brought me here. Thank you, sir. Soto said, yes, AI, that's the secret. Shout out to Terry. What's up, Terry? Hit the like, folks. Yeah, man, y'all go hit like. Look, dude, 42 people on YouTube watching, 18 likes, bro. Let's get at least 30 likes. Come on. Solana ETF with staking. You got it. Shoto said, love your tweet about Bitcoin dominance going up first or down first. It's very important to understand what I explained. It sounds weird, but it's the way it works. He said, step 2, Bitcoin still goes up, alt goes up. Step 3, Bitcoin stalls while altcoins go up. You got it. It's exactly the rhythm that we need. All right, so let's go through some more. I got Bitcoin done. Now we're going to go down the list. It's exactly 11:30. Dang, bro, that 30 minutes went by fast, didn't it? When you got good stuff to talk about and you don't waste a bunch of time fiddle farting around, you get right to it. Stuff flies by. And take me something to drink real fast. I didn't pour a drink tonight. I'm trying not to drink too much, but I am going to have some frozen drinks after this on the Zoom. We do Zoom every single Thursday night after the live stream. People can get on there and ask me whatever they want. We can talk about whatever you'd like. One-on-one with me and a bunch of group of guys who all have the same goal. Make a bunch of money together. right down at the bottom, wap.com/team786. People who actually care to help you make money. It's not all about us. Obviously, I'm going to try to make as much money as I can. I want to help everybody else make as much as they can. Man, we got to make it through this, y'all. We got to make it. We can't let this opportunity pass us up. I really, really hope everyone takes the opportunity to get in there. It's free for the first month. If you don't like it, you can leave after 29 days. No worries. If you want to stay, it's a whopping $8. $8. Right? One Starbucks coffee. What are we talking about? It smells like the wife cooked popcorn. It smells fabulous, as a matter of fact. Let me have something to drink. We'll get back to it. Just sweet tea tonight. I just made this pot of sweet tea earlier today. And it's fire, by the way. All right, so let's get down the list. First one on my list of requests was XRP, of course. Why not, everybody?
Bruh.
But we do it every week, so it's fine. All right, let's pull up the crypto pair first. All right, so moving average wise, you're over all of them now. We talked about how this thing would hit the 200 and hesitate. It did hit the 200 and hesitate. And then that bitch plowed right on through it. Excellent. I'm a little worried that we didn't get a back test there on the 200. Would have liked one. Blew right through it though, like it didn't even need to be there. Okay, fine. If that's the way you want to do it, I'm happy about that. I'm already in this. I actually bought a little bit more the other day with some money that I moved around. So far, this 260 level has held firm. I warned everybody this level would get held up. I put it on X. I talked about it right here on YouTube. I made a clip about it and put that clip on a whole separate video, whole separate thing, so everyone would see it. The reason I say that is, we pull these moving averages off. That's just resistance through there. You can look back over here and see that all of this chop right here stopped right in that area, either back or up, doesn't matter. It stopped right in that area. That tells you that's an area of contention. It's a little bit of a bulldog to get through that. Because of that, it's going to take a little bit. As you see now, we are right up in that level, thinking about it. Are we going to break it? Are we not going to break it? Well, I definitely think we're going to go up more in time, but don't be super bummed if it slows down here, right? If I look at weekly, that's where things get really interesting. That's why I say, if you wait a couple days, you know what I mean, and give this thing some time, the weekly chart will work its way out. And boy, is it working its way out right now. Big breakout. Can't mistake that, can you? There's no mistake in a big breakout. I love it. That's why breakout trading, breakout charting is the easiest thing to teach. Look at that. It's clearly over the trend line. We can even see when it happened. I just showed you on the daily chart. Magnificent. Once we get past this level of 260 to 270, I'm looking at $3. $3 is the previous resistance level that it got hung up at before. It definitely will slow down there if it doesn't slow down here. Fine, no biggie. The levels beyond that are the exciting levels, all right? You see this right here, 330-ish, 440-ish, and 650-ish, right? Not so certain those levels are perfect, but what I will say is we can pull fibs from the bottom, from the top here to the bottom, and we can kind of start measuring again. From the top down to the very, very bottom wick over there, we'll pull our Fibonacci retracement over, and you'll see this Fibonacci retracement kind of ends off right about where that blue line is right there. That blue line says show is over. That's when I think all this kind of comes to a close, all right? So I'm going to pull this a little closer just so you can see the numbers differently. All right, so that's golden pocket is where we're at right now, where that 260 level is. It's a pretty typical retrace level. 61.8% to 68%. All right, beyond that, Sniper's Alley is where the $3 level lies. Again, there's a reason why we're called the 786 Assassins, because snipers can't, because when you try to run through Sniper's Alley, you get your head shot off. That's what's going to happen right there. If it doesn't stop here, it's going to hesitate at 786. I'm hopeful that it pushes through that and gets above, because above that are the really interesting levels of $4, $5, and $5.50. Very, very close to $6. Everything here, as you see, I updated this on November 18th, 2024. More likely now, optimal long-term take profit zone, right? I said not likely then, but more likely now. And now it's extremely likely. We're going to get another move up here. The question is, how far does it go? 4 to 6 makes sense for now. Could it go more than that? Yeah, but let's not go putting our hopes and dreams on our shoulders here. Let's keep those suppressed and keep what's in front of us real. The data thing looks good. It's on a rip. I'm already in it. I'm excited. There's XRP. It's weird because, like I've told y'all before, man, bro, no joke, crew chief, it really does smell like a movie theater. She doesn't realize I can smell it. It smells really good. She probably does know. She's probably laughing about it right now. Whatever, dude. Women. XRP Orlando said, thank you, bro, for all your time. No. Thank you for being here. I super appreciate it, dude. Nobody has to show up and watch this stuff at 11:30 at night, but you do. And I'll never be ungrateful for that. I'll always be grateful for people coming on here and hanging out. Ron says, oh my God, you could do it in chat. I believe you. Come on, Gala. Daddy needs a new house. Bro, big facts. Big facts. One more like to get us to 30 likes on YouTube. That would be great, but I'd love to see everybody go hit the like button. It's free. Also, give us a retweet over on X if you're there. Why not? It costs nothing to give us a repost. And shout out to everybody over Rumble. I didn't say hey to them guys. Real fast. What's up, Alvin? Good to see you. The Californian, bro. Hello from Brad Williams. My guy. Good to see you. Nomad Hitch. What's up, Stifler? Shout out, brother. Shout out from North Korea. That's crazy. It's stupid. He said Keith's a stud. He loves being in front of the camera. Keith hates being in front of the camera. Rumble done quit on me. Never mind. It's back. I used a VCR last night. The California said, that's pretty good. Let's go. I'll give credit for those not doing the ugly face thumbnails. I never do the ugly face thumbnails, or if I do, it's just to make fun of them. Open mouth thumbnails. Haha. Yeah. Shout out to the bullish people. I appreciate it. So that's XRP. Let's go down this list. How about HBAR? All right. So HBAR, just like XRP, breakout on the weekly, can't mistake it. Daily breakout, weekly breakout. Love to see it. If I go down to daily here and get a little bit more active in the price action, you'll see multiple points of hits here and a breakout. I love it. Pulled the moving averages up right there. Looky. 821 breakout, 50 moving average, 100 moving average. Now aiming for that 200 moving average at about 21 cents. That's the next logical target for me. I think it's going to hit that. Looks really, really nice from this angle. Ichimoku cloud. Hey, you've got lag line over the candles. You've got the price well over the cloud. You've got a green cloud on the end. It literally just flipped green today. And last but not least, you have the blue over the red. That's the conversion line over the baseline. You have 4 out of 4. Congratulations. You've got exactly what you need for the Ichimoku cloud. This looks fabulous. That doesn't mean it's only going to go up. That just means the low latency, very laggy Ichimoku cloud is turned up and looking pretty good for you. I'm glad to see it. Warning, you're already overbought. This is the problem with big green candles. You get these overbought conditions, and these overbought conditions tend to end well, just like this one back here. Right? Could that happen again? Yep, could. Oversold to overbought is wild. Now I'm hoping we continue this and it pushes a little bit more into overbought than it is. We'll see. MACD, she's cruising. Big sweep up. You do have some divergence right here, which is between the blue and the orange. A spread between those lines. You don't want to see that. You want to kind of see them be more steady, but you can't be mad at the volume, especially now, right? I'm warning you on this because I don't want you to get into your feelings and think this thing can't go down. The difference is the weekly. The weekly RSI has plenty of room to go here. Plenty of room to go. Weekly MACD hasn't even turned green yet. So this may be a longer sustained move than it is quick, fast, and in a hurry. But for now, she's on a rip. She's on a ride. There's never a bad day. There's never a bad day to take profits. All right. If you want to get some profits, I am all for it. If you want to get your original investment out and leave the rest in it, that's also a decent play because then you're guaranteed to win. I love seeing people win. I love seeing people take profits. I love people telling me how much money they made as compared to what they made before. That stuff's wonderful. HBAR's on a rip. Let's see how much farther it can go. I did that one. Rio. All right. Which one should we use? Let's use the crypto pair. There we go. All right. You guys saw me in Rio before. I have not left this position. I stayed in it and rode it out through the mud. All right, so recently she came down here and tested the 100 and battled back and forth. I was all right with that. It jumped back over the 8, 21, and 50. Excellent. She's back over the 236 on the weekly, 382, I'm sorry, the 618 on the weekly. Up here's the 68 fib and the 200 moving average. Look how aggressively that 200's coming down. That looks like that's going to hold the price up a little bit. I'm okay with that because my entry's underneath the price. I'm good to go. I'm locked in profits here. RSI, as far as that goes, you got plenty of room for this thing to go up. It's been very, very slow and kind of laggy. MACD still going up. I like it. Multiple green days in a row. MACD has crossed upward. The orange is over the midline. The midline is the separation between red and green, obviously. Having both those lines over is more bullish than bearish. It's worth talking about the pivots on some of these. Pivot points kind of show us predetermined stop and go points along the way. You want to be over the pivot point. We are over the pivot point. The next stopping points are R1, R2, R3, as you see. That's 34, 37, and 43 cents. Somewhere up there lies our end point. 200 moving average is up near R2 at 37 cents. Makes sense there for it to get a stopped up, slowed down optimal, stop down, slowed up point where everything has to stop. Figure out what it wants to do. Maybe take some profits, maybe not. That moment's coming up. You know, we got crypto week next week, so we'll see how all that goes. I don't like to get hyped up on stuff like that, so let's not go too far with it, but I like the look. I like how things have improved. It's nice. It's nice. To finally see some improvements, a big deal. All right. So I didn't record the TIA clip that we did last time, but I got TIA pulled up here for us to see now. Did I use the MEXC chart? That'll work. All right. So here's TIA. Boy, it looks terrible right now, doesn't it? Right? I agree it does. From the launch price to the top, this thing came down and did a 786 hit. I told you guys I went ahead and bought this because I thought things were bottoming out. It looked like we'd hit a point of change, and I think that's happened. Now we've got 3 weeks straight of green since I bought. Very, very tickled about this. It was a big risk to buy this low, but it was in Sniper's Alley, and I thought, hey man, it's in Sniper's Alley. Well, let's take a chance. Let's see what happens. Gamble a little bit, and it paid off. I didn't buy all at once. What I did was buy in stages. That way I was a little bit more safe. Since then, we've gotten an 821 EMA break, 821 EMA cross, and just now, right as we speak, smashing into the 50-day moving average. That's the last one of the 3 that I need to go, hell yeah, she's ready to rip. That'd be the Reaper strategy. Here's the Reaper strategy, which is 821 EMA cross, 2 closes over the 8 EMA, the green line, and over the 50 moving average. As you'll see, it says 8 EMA buy down here. It says 821 buy here. It does not say 50 yet because it hasn't gotten there. Just close yet, but not quite. The Reaper line is the stop loss line. That's where you put your stop loss underneath, and it's a little bit more safe. As this goes, you can slide your stop loss up with the price going up. So every day the price comes up, you slide your stop loss up. So if it goes up 4%, you slide your stop loss 4%. If it goes up 70%, you slide your stop loss up 70%. This locks you in wins. Now, it will mean you have to monitor it a little bit more than you used to. You're going to do that anyway. You're going to look constantly now that you're in the money here and things start turning around. You're going to go, oh gosh, I got to look. What's up, Crypto Big D? What's up, Ryan Coburn? Good to see you guys. What's up, Panda? You're going to go, oh man, I got to look. I got to see more. I got to watch. Okay, fine. Let's do it constructively, all right? Move your stop losses up. Do not slide your stop losses down. That's a mistake. That only ever costs you money. I know you might hit your stop loss this way if you put one in and you slide it up. I get it. You might lose and it might kick you out of the position, but that's fine. There's so many other ones to get into. And if you think you slid it up too far, we'll cut it in half, right? The price went up 7%, you do 3.5%. Make sense? All right, cool. So that's the Reaper strategy. That is free in our Discord. Looking at the weekly here, this is the other problem. We're smashing into the weekly 8 EMA, and we haven't had 2 closes over the weekly 8 EMA this year yet. Makes me think it needs to happen though. So I'm gonna hang in this one for a little bit. It is at a stopping point at the moment. I could go ahead and take profits, but I'm not gonna right now. I'm gonna leave this be for a little bit longer. I really like the setup. I think it's gonna have legs later on. And if that's the case, there's a ton of gains to be had. All right, Pepe. I rarely ever talk about meme coins on here, but we have to talk about them. All right, look at Pepe. My goodness. Broken 100 and 821 EMA down here. broke through. You had the 50 and the 200 in the same spot, and this thing broke through both of them at the same time. Who saw that coming? I know, it did it all at once too. Can't do nothing about it. Beautiful move. It turns out that a lot of meme coin charts look just like this one. This one, Bonk, and many others, and a couple more that I'm going to look at here in a minute on the stream, had this same look. Love seeing it, love seeing the action. I'm a little worried that it's meme coins doing it, right? I circled this level up here because I think this is where we're going to get back to. That's a long way up. From here, that's still another 175%. Now, the interesting question is, how much more gains will all these have? Well, I'd love to sit here and tell you that I know exactly how much. Look here. Diego just said, take your profits, brother. Damn right. Make sure you get your money back. Even if it's 1%, it's better than none. And most people aren't going to be able to say they made money on this. All of you new people who are watching this right now, you're not going to be able to say you made profits on it unless you take some, right? It's very important. A lot of people you talk to in this are going to talk about how much money they made, but they're never going to have a single dollar to show for it. Remember that. Remember I told you this, because it's going to come true eventually. You better get your profits, because if you don't, someone else gets them for you and you're left with nothing. Ask me how we know. It's already happened thousands of times to people on the very same stream you're watching right now. I can't make you listen. All I can do is give you the information. You choose, all right? Don't listen to me. Don't believe me. Go find out for yourself. I'm trying to tell you right now, you better do it. All right, cool. So I like the look on Pepe. I like the breakout. Be careful here. It is kind of getting slowed up right here by some fibs. It's right into the golden pocket right now. It's a clean breakout and run. This looks like it could run to the end of the month, which would make sense. In the golden pocket right now, breaking out to Sniper's Alley makes sense. That's the next level of resistance over here where candles kind of slowed up and stopped. That grouping of candles right there creates resistance, and it's right up next to it right now. Good news is it's got time to get through. Be careful. She is working toward overbought. They're meme coins. They are not the be-all, end-all. Don't get hung up. Now, bonk. All right, there you go. Same story, but look, this one's overbought. Be careful, right? She's already up to the previous high that it made in May. Excellent move. Look at the meme coin volatility, dude. Can't believe it's even true. Breaking through Sniper's Alley, where I just showed you that Pepe wasn't up there yet. Brother, this one's getting through it. Hell of a move. All right, you got the 1272, the 1414, and the 1618 up here. Tough to get up there already that fast. We'll see. It's already stretched its neck out a little bit. As it gets more overbought, it becomes more take profits than it does buy. It is not a sale, though. Please know that it's much more of a take profit. There's a big difference in selling and taking profits. I'm not trying to tell you to sell it all, but 1%, 3%, 5%, 17%, whatever your plan is, makes more sense than none. All right, if you pull this fib from all the way back in November to the bottom, we have a clean breakout. We just got through the 50 fib. This thing could go to the upper golden pocket and the upper Sniper's Alley. To those levels, you've got 30% and 100%. So there's more gains to be had now or later. SEI coin. All right, let's do, can we do this one? Yep. All right, well, whatever I drew over here didn't work out. So let's erase that shit. You know what? I want to leave it because I like leaving stuff on the chart sometimes. More so, I want you to notice the current price action. Pretty cool looking, I must say. What happened? Well, I've been watching this for a while. A couple of other guys in the Discord had already bought this one down here, and I missed on this chance. I bought something different. It shot up and got over the 200 moving average. You'll notice that I've talked about this, but not a lot of them are over the 200 moving average like this one is. This is SEI. I love seeing this happen because getting over top of the 200 moving average is great. This thing acts like a magnet, but you want to be on top of it, not underneath it, right? Once you get over top of that red line, great things happen, and that's exactly what happened to SEI. Came back down, got stuck on the magnet, but it's bounced off, and it's bounced off with some extreme aggression. Love it here. If I back out a little bit and show you weekly, you'll see that weekly we're pushing into the weekly 50 moving average. There's a high probability it gets hung up either here or at the 100 moving average was up around 37 to 38 cents. That's not meaning that it's going to turn bad at that point, but those are relatively fair points of agreement that things are probably going to get caught for a little bit. Doesn't mean it's over, just means maybe take some profits. I'm watching this very closely because I'm already in this. I bought down here once the back test happened. I love it. Hoping it goes more. I bought a pretty good bit of it too. Hey man, I don't like crossing my fingers, but I got my fingers crossed on a couple of these things because there is no certainty amongst altcoins. You're taking gambles every time you buy one. You know what I mean? Let's be real. We're taking big gambles every time we stick our neck out here to buy something with a wild market cap and wild stuff going on. Orai. All right, we'll do Orai. Perfect. You know what? I've already got my buy levels on here. Let's pull up a clean one though. So my buy levels are around 260, right? Let's pull up a clean chart. And then we'll make a clip of this one. All right, so Orai chain. Probably delete that. I don't know if that's coming true. So Orai chain is ORAI. She broke the 821, and just yesterday, after fiddling around underneath the 821 over here, I'm in at 260, right? Bam, snaps off, breaks the 50 and the 100 moving average at the same time, has that same aggressive look. 200 moving average is up here around 416. All right, if I take the moving averages off and I put the fibs up, starting at the top, working to the bottom, dragging it across, lining up that trend line the best I can, as you see I just did right there. She's broken through the 50 fib. Beautiful. She's up near the up near golden pocket level right now. This is our next point of slowdown around $3. It's at 296 right now. So from 3 to 325 makes sense. Also 350 makes sense because that's up here at Sniper's Alley. And that's where that 200 moving average is slowly working its way down to. You have some confluence right up here at the 382 fib. I got to pull that. There you go. Right there, the 382 fib, which is underneath the camera right there. All right. I'm going to drag it back up so I can see it a little bit better. And the 886 level have some confluence. I'm going to draw a box right there. That 200 moving average is going to work its way down here to that box, and the price is going to work its way up there at some point. I'm aiming for that level. I might take some profits there. I really like the way this chart looks. We scroll out to weekly. You get a similar view of it. Let me drop this little fib off that I just made here. All of this inefficient drop you would hope comes back. Double bottom right here on the weekly. Love that. With that little breakout that we got, that W pattern works its way out right here. Right? That W pattern works its way back out and gets us up here to around $6. That'd be amazing. Can it go past that? We'll see. A little too far down the road to be speculating on for now. But I love the move that it made just over the last couple days here. Took forever. But some of these low caps, like this one, this is a lower market cap. Some of these take time. It is what it is, right? I've already got a big chunk of it. I'm going to let it ride. I tell everybody what I buy and sell in Discord, so it's not like I'm trying to keep this secret, right? It's just a cleaner chart to look at. Those are the levels I like. Baby steps, Orai chains making some moves. Let me mark that one off. Let's get to these other ones. Quant. This one's had a pretty good run recently, man. Oh yeah, Crypto Andrew, we're new all-time highs steady all the time, bro. This is how we do it. Good to see you, by the way, my friend. Good to see you back. I like seeing the old heads on here, dude. Thank y'all. Y'all have been around since last bull run. I remember some of these names, dude. I don't remember them all. I can't remember every name, but I remember seeing y'all guys pop up on here and talk. Hey man, don't be shy. Come on to all these streams. Talk it up with me. Talk shit. Have fun. That's what we're here for. We don't want to be scared and be shy. We want to be out there in attack mode right now. Quant, big move, 821 break, 50 moving average break, 100, 200, everything moving off. I really, really like the look. It made a very aggressive move earlier, and it's kind of pulled back very aggressively as well. But now we're back up at the Sniper's Alley level. If we break out, same levels hold for me. 132 here to the 50 fib makes sense. There's resistance there. That's going to be a bulldog to get through, that 132-ish level. I don't know how fast, but in time. Shout out to Zrugnet. Good to see you, Zach. He said old heads. I hear you, bro. He knows what I'm talking about. I'm an old head because you're an old head. A shout out to Diego for retweeting it. Bulldog Bandit over on X. He's got some really good posts recently. You guys should go check him out at Crypto Guy Hawaii. That's his handle. So Quant, still good for now. It is a little bit overbought. Be careful on the daily. Weekly has plenty of room to go, but I'm a little worried about that 130 level. XLM. We got time, fellas. We got time. Here we go. Power time. All right, XLM, similar move to XRP. You got a breakout on the backside. She's moving off, doing pretty well. 382 fib up at 31 cents is our next point of contention. where things are likely to slow down. XLM's had a hell of a run. Broke through all three of my little green boxes right here because I expected price action to be weak. It didn't like that. Didn't like me speculating that. And it took off in a hurry. She's broken the 821, the 50, and the 100. And now, just like I'm saying other charts doing, she's pressed it into that 200 moving average. Absolutely beautiful move for XLM. If you're a more long-term guy, you're not too worried about it. If you're watching every day like most people are, even though you say you're not, taking profits is nothing. Never a bad problem. Never a bad thing to do. How far do I think this could go? If we're getting a crazy alt season, up here around $1. That's going to be pretty good. Maybe not. Maybe only 50 cents. But let's take this in stride here. It's already done pretty well. Getting up through here and getting to $1 would be absolutely incredible for XLM. I'm not convinced of that yet, but I do think it's got more left in it. ADA. Pounding through them, guys. Pounding through them.
Pulse.
All right, so ADA weekly. Be careful. Look, it's all tied up in these moving averages. A lot of jumbled up junk right here. I don't want you to get caught in the wash. Daily wise, though, boy, look at this thing move. 821 cross, 50, 100, now heading for the 200. Over in our Discord, we have a section for all of the top 25 coins, excluding stable coins. This is one of them. We were already watching this very, very closely. I had this thing down to the day when the buy signal came in. We love having sections like that in the Discord where you can kind of see each coin one by one. One of the small perks we have. Right now, she's over these moving averages. I think it gets to the 200 moving average at about 78 cents. Looking pretty good. Trias, or Trios, however you say it. Let's do this one. All right, perfect. So over the 821 just today. Excellent. You're not over the 50 yet, so it's only like a 66% yes and not a 99% yes. But I like the move over the 821. You also don't have an 821 cross just yet. You are working on it though. Big move down. Obviously, she's been absolutely brutally destroyed by the market since 2024. Big downturn, but that also leads to more upside. It starts right now, right? You got an 821 cross. You're not quite over the 50. Being over the 50 moving average will convince me a little bit more, but I definitely like what I see here. But you could get faked out like we had before. Break this 50, run to that 100 and 200. Those would be my targets. $1, $1.23, and $1.75. ETH BTC. There you go. So this is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. This shows you which one's stronger versus the other. And recently, Ethereum's took back a little bit of the reins. Now, caution, stuck right at the 200 moving average and right at resistance where these other candles failed to really get moving. It could fail in a hurry. Don't get light-footed here and think you're going to run past all this. Weekly, though, pretty good. Look, you got an 821 move coming in here on the weekly. You bottomed out already and broke out. If it wants to keep going, my next level would be 0.031. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen. Bitcoin still could have some more gas in the tank, and if it does, it's going to pull on the strings of Ethereum. Doesn't mean that Ethereum's doing bad. It just means Bitcoin's holding some water. It's pressed up against the 200. I need to see it break it, but I definitely like the look. All right, total ES, then ETH versus ETH. Oh no, total ES versus Bitcoin. I'm sorry. I gotta do. Is it not already on there? I thought this one already existed. I'll just do it this way. USDT. There you go. This is total market cap minus stablecoins divided by Bitcoin. So how is everything else doing versus Bitcoin? Take away stables. Pretty darn good. Look at this. 821 cross, 50 and 100 cross, 200 moving average is still way up there, getting plenty of momentum downward on that one. But like I showed you, you want to see all these start sprinting toward those. 28.72 million right now. That level's 29 million up there. That's not a ton of money. I do think it's going to hunt that level eventually. Weekly is absolutely blistered by Bitcoin. Bitcoin outperformed everything by a mile so far, chart-wise, not percentage-wise. Over the 8, I like that. Needs a little bit more time, but I do definitely think it's going to keep going up. Beautiful look. Now, last one we'll do, and then we'll get off here. We saved, folks, we saved the worst for last. It's DAG.
Gotcha, bitch.
Right? Calm down, guys. I'm just joking. All right, DAG, again, still stinking up the joint. You've consolidated for a really long time here. You're still stuck under the 821. If I move this line, and I kind of try to fudge it here and make you guys feel better about it, you could argue that maybe it's still hanging on and hasn't quite let go. I got to put it in linear mode and move some things around, but you could argue that that is the trend line. I don't like that argument, but I could understand it. And I get you guys want to argue about it. I understand. You could argue that it's on the trend line. If so, let's see this thing move off and hit that 50 moving average again with some aggression. Not only hit it, but get up through it, because breaking 4 cents has been an absolute nightmare for this coin. If it does get above the 821 and hit that 50 and 100, like a lot of other ones have done, and this one hasn't done yet, even though the big influencers said that it would, hasn't done it, maybe it can start squeaking its way back up here to the 200 moving average at 0.046. Again, that's still in that 4 cent range though, right? Really, really struggling right now. I need to see it get up and go like all the rest of them do. This was an early runner last time, and now it's very, very underperforming. In fact, other coins that run similarly with this one are doing much better than it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's still sucking hind tip for now. There's potential runs here coming, but not yet. It's still stuck in the mud and still hasn't got off the ground. Hopefully here soon it does. A lot of other stuff has. You'd like to see DAG follow suit. It's over the 8 EMA, but it's in the wait a minute zone, so you even need to wait another day or two to get some confirmation. It's faked you out a bunch of times already. Don't get faked out again and be the guy wishing and hoping, right? Take some time and patience with some of these. Are going to need it. Now, damn, was that a marathon stream or what? It was only an hour, but it seemed way faster than that. All right. Whew. I kind of got a headache, not gonna lie. I'm gonna get some Tylenol after this. I rarely take medicine, but I probably need some Tylenol. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate every single one of you being on here. Almost 500 people watched this. That's super awesome. I appreciate every single one of you coming by and spending your hard-earned time, because time is earned. You only have so much of it, all right? And you especially only have so much free time. Time is earned. Thank you all for coming and spending it with me. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. I appreciate that. Very, very much so. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. Let's have a better day every day, all right? Let's make it a little bit better than it was the day before. Things are going to work out. Last but not least, if nobody else told you, Keith will tell you. Keith loves every single one of y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all being on here. WAP.com/team786. Check us out. If you haven't, one whole month free after that, half off. One Starbucks coffee a month is what it costs, $8. Thank you. Y'all be good. I'll see y'all next stream. I'm out. Peace. Sky's the limit.